Hey, Michaela.
Yes, Warwick.
Who's your favourite superhero and why?
Catwoman.
Wow. Why?
Because she's super hot. Imagine if I look like that in Lycra.
I wonder if I'd look like that in Lycra.
No. You're no superhero, believe me.
Welcome to the Tradies Business Show, helping you get off the tools and into true business ownership, so you can spend more time doing the things that matter most. Now, here are your hosts, Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark.
And welcome back to the Tradies Superhero Business Show.
We are superheroes.
Because we're all superheroes here
Our
in
tradies
business.
are superheroes.
You guys are superheroes. Tell us who you tell us who you would be if you were a superhero. Hit us on the Facebook page, Tradies Business Show on Facebook page, and tell us who you would be if you were a superhero.
Hey,
Please don't send us photos of yourself in a Catwoman costume. Don't do that. We don't need to see that.
We should have kept this for a question, but what superpower would you like if you could pick one?
Me?
Yeah.
The power to control time.
Is that
Because then I can get more editing done.
Mine would be too invisible.
Yeah. Well, see, I was going with invisible, but then I
Because you
thought,
could go anywhere there.
Oh,
You know.
where would you go if you're invisible?
I don't know.
Can you say it on air?
Well, just because I'm a busybody, I just want to know everything's going on.
Sneak into the neighbour's
So I
house.
just go everywhere.
Find out what all those domestics have been about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today's episode is about the opposite of being invisible.
It's about being
Hey,
high.
did you like that? That was pretty good, hey? That was good.
Good segue.
We
Well
didn't
done.
script that at all,
No.
listeners, because we don't actually script anything on this show. But today's episode is about being high-vis. And so it's not about clothing or wearing the high-vis gear, but it's kind of about wrapping your business, your tradie business, in high-vis so that customers find you.
That's it. And
That
so
would be cool.
Yeah. And we have a marketing...
A high-vis expert.
That's it. Yes. Marketing guru Taryn Thomas, who we did feature in a previous episode of Real Tradie Story about her story with Thomas Joinery, her and her husband's business. But she's taken all that knowledge and particularly wants to help tradies starting up to make sure they're getting stuff right from the start and help with their marketing. So she has some really great marketing tips for anyone in whatever stage of business that they're in.
Absolutely. So tune in. Are we going to the actual interview now?
Where else would we be going?
Well, we're not going to the neighbour's house because we're still visible.
Oh,
so,
bugger.
yeah, have a listen. Taryn's got some great tips for you. We'll talk to you at the back end. And joining us in the studio for a second time around, in reality, is Taryn from High Vis Co. Have I got that right?
That's it.
Yep.
That's right.
So we also spoke with Taryn in our Real Tradie Story about Thomas Joinery. So welcome back to the studio, Taryn.
Thank you for having me again.
So you're wearing a different hat today. Tell us a bit about High Vis Co.
So High Vis Co was born, I guess, out of my industry experience with Thomas Joinery. So being in the construction industry for the last 7 years is not a place I thought I would ever be. So I've taken all of that experience, and then in my former life before kids, I was also in advertising and marketing. So High Vis Co was really born out of merging those two areas together. I've seen my husband for the last 7 years go through some crazy tough times. So I think that tradies need a lot of help, particularly in this marketing arena, because it's something that everyone knows that they should do, but it just doesn't quite get done.
Yeah. And if you go back and listen to the episode, it really has been a great business where you've grown successfully over the last 7 years, and you've really done a great job building that business to 12 people now. So you really have got that experience and you know what can work. And you talk about some things you've done in marketing in that episode that worked really well for you. So it's great that you're going to share that knowledge and help tradies out there as well.
I hope so.
I do love the name too.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw it, I have to admit, I thought it was a high-vis clothing company. But then I went, no, it's about being high-vis.
Yeah, that's
Literally,
right.
yeah.
And then High Vis Co has a lot of, hopefully a lot of extensions, brand extensions in the future. So High Vis Collaboration, High Vis Community, all those type of things.
So
I'd
like
like
a
to.
true marketer, you've really thought
Yes,
this through.
even the orange earrings.
Yeah, I
from
saw
the
that.
logo.
That's nice. Looks good. You got the high-vis earrings on.
That's
so.
right.
Well, they say a key to content marketing is to own a colour these
That's
days.
right.
So.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Nice work. So what's your drive behind high-vis cone. I know you've talked a bit about what you plan to do with it, but what's your why? I mean, we were just chatting about that before before we hit record.
Yep. So my why would definitely be helping, particularly the younger end of the tradie market. So the guys that are thinking about going out on their own, and particularly ones that are going to be working with their partners. I would love to be able to help them out from a marketing point of view. So getting everything set up for success, really. So, getting their brand right, making sure that they actually have put some thought into it, because, once you've got your brand right, you then know that if you meet someone on the street, you'll be able to have a couple of sentences to tell them about your business and giving you the confidence. I think we spoke about it in the last episode, to sell your business. So if you really know, helping figuring out your why, if you really know what you're doing, it makes it easier to sell. So that's my why. I'd love to see younger couples succeed. It's a huge step going out on your own. And then also, the tradies who have also been in it for a while as well and want to get a bit more re-energised, breathe some new life into the company. Basically just want to see these hardworking tradies do well and, get some reward.
And make it a little bit easier for them, because it is hard. They are on the tools all day and they don't get time to do that marketing. They probably have all these great ideas about what they'd like to do with the business or how to market it. But
I think they know so much more than they think.
That's it. And just having someone give them a little bit of helping hand. So, great idea.
So how are you going to do that, Taryn? Or how are you doing that? Because you've already got some clients.
Yes.
So what does that look like in the marketplace for you?
Yep. So basically, I guess when I meet with the tradie, we sit down and depends at what stage of business they're at, but we will talk about, I guess, the foundation of the business, which is their why, their who they actually want to be working with. If you can imagine working with one client every day, your dream client, who would that be? And then also figuring out a pretty simple way to make sure that you're getting every lead. So that's kind of the foundation that I would talk about with them. And then I don't think marketing is an overly complicated process. I don't think it's brain surgery. I do think anyone can do it. So I think that I like to break the marketing down when I speak to my clients. So it's what you do in person, what you do on paper, and what you do online. And then just going through those mechanisms and actually seeing what they currently are doing and how we can improve it. What are they doing that can make them money? What are they doing that is, what can they do for free? Straight away, doing a few of those things well, and then slowly start rolling over and, I guess, doing more and more things well, and then your business gets high vis.
A high vis biz.
A high vis biz, that's right.
I love it.
And so one big area I find that tradies struggle with is the online stuff. Mm-hmm. And I know we could talk about that all day, but what do you think are some of the key areas that they need to look at online?
Well, I think website first and foremost needs to be looking good, really. I think I heard in one of your previous episodes, it's your shop front. I like shop fronts, being a shoppening, having a shoppening background. So it really doesn't need to be complicated again, but it needs to show your work, say what you do. You need to be easily contacted. And then once you've got those, key things right, then you can start looking into optimizing it and all those type of things. So online, definitely your website. If you can get some form of communication happening regularly, so, like an e-newsletter, again, nothing earth shattering. But then also online, I also like to include, of course, the social media, your Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all those, I think, the big players for tradie businesses. I don't think you need to be, on everything. You need to do one or two things and do them well. Mm-hmm. My husband's business is on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. They're the social networks we're on. How
have you found Facebook? Because a lot of people go, well, everyone's on it, but trades really do struggle on Facebook.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
definitely
not necessarily the best use of their time now, the way the algorithms and change and everything. But like you, I'm really excited about the new ones like Instagram, and LinkedIn's not new anymore, but you can use them much more strategic for this industry.
I agree. I think you need to be on Facebook because what are the stats? Like 1 in 2 people or something in the world is on it. So you need to be on there. I tend to just schedule my posts for the week, just so that I've got a daily presence on there. If I make sure that I engage with our suppliers or our potential customers on there. This is from the the Thomas Joinery point of view, just to show, that, hey, we're around, we're on top of this. And then if I find something interesting, then I'll share that. But then I do put most of my effort. I think tradies can really get a lot of value from LinkedIn, particularly if you're a business-to-business customer. So, if you're a painter and you want to paint commercially, you've got a whole heap of people on there. So maybe not if you're a residential plumber. LinkedIn probably, your clients won't be looking for you on there. And then I guess from a personal point of view, tradies can do Instagram well with the mix of showcasing your work, a bit of tradie humour, a bit of what's happening, beers on the beach. Who doesn't like that?
Yep.
And that's what I love about Instagram. I think it's the one social network that tradies who are on a job site can do easily.
Yes.
But also by just flicking through, because it's so visual, it's just photo-based, that it's something that they can enjoy and digest easily as well. But posting is just so much easier as well.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a hard one. I think social media is so tough for tradies businesses because I would never go to a client and say, you're going to get, this return on investment for it. But I think because it is such a low cost medium, you can't be expecting, stellar sales from it. But I think that there's a happy ground. You've got to be on there. I think the construction industry isn't represented well on social media. So if you can be a leader on it, more power to you. It's always better to be on the forefront than chasing everyone else and copying what they're doing.
And I know that you did say in the other episode, and off air, you were talking about, you've won 5 quite big jobs just through some of your social media directly through Instagram and LinkedIn and what you do. So it can work.
It definitely can.
But you've got to be a little bit consistent and focus on it at times to get those results. But it can work.
Yep, that's it. I agree. Definitely.
Taryn, I want to ask you about newsletters. You talked about, email marketing earlier, and it's also an area that I think has been overdone and done to death by a lot of industries. I don't see a lot of it being used by trades, really, and certainly not effectively.
Yeah.
What are some of the basics, maybe do's and don'ts, perhaps? I've put you on the spot a bit there with email marketing. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I think you should keep it short and simple. I don't think you should be regurgitating every job that you've been, that you've worked on in the last month or however regularly you will send an e-newsletter out. But I think showcasing... one formula I like to use is to showcase your best project that you've done in between newsletters. Put a bit of a spotlight on that because it's something you should be proud of, and you should, be happy to let people know. If you can then boost that with a client testimonial, even better. And then I think also if you can answer a customer's question in that email. For example, one of my landscaping clients, I've got an idea for him to, with summer coming up, and if you've got a small lot, like, he's working in the higher socioeconomic regions of Brisbane, which are typically small lots. So let's try and have some tips about how to utilise your backyard to get the most amount of space for your kids to play in. And so if you can do those type of, and then they can also be reused on your website as a blog as well. So answer customers' question. Product showcase and
I also like doing trends. So showcasing, trends that are coming out. So it shows you're on top of what you're doing in the industry, and that you basically know what you're doing. And you're modern and
definitely.
What about frequency? What's your opinion on how often to send your email, newsletter, or communication?
I think monthly for tradie businesses. I mean, it depends, I guess, if you're speaking to residential clients or if you're speaking to commercial clients, it's a little bit different. Residentially, you may even want to be a little bit less frequent because, say you're putting a pool in, you're only doing that once in a lifetime, but you may have, word of mouth referrals and that type of thing stemming from it. But commercially, I think you need to be at least monthly just to stay top of mind. Projects take a while to get off the ground, but then once they're off the ground, if you can hit them at that sweet point throughout the process, not knowing, of course, when that is, if you can be in front of them at least once a month. And I think that's not a huge ask for tradies either to produce one newsletter a month.
I know some that do it really well, but they do by season. So they'll do one each quarter. So they'll have it like a spring and make it relevant to their business, summer, winter, etc. And they find that every quarter works for them just because of the industry and things that they're in. And they're mainly residential.
Cool. What are some of the biggest don'ts of marketing a tradie business from your perspective?
I'll start at the top. At the,
There's a list.
there is a bit of a list. Get a good logo. Again, return on investment. It's hard to see if spending $500 on a logo is going to get you X amount of clients. It may not, but it's going to get you. It's going to open the door to those clients, because if you don't look good, I don't want you in my house building something beautiful, because you don't take pride in your business. So I think branding is underestimated. I guess that's a do, isn't it? Do invest in a good logo. Don't get your mate to do one.
Don't do it on clip art.
13-year-old kid to do one up for you or something?
No, don't do that. Don't try and do everything. Just try and do one or two things well. And particularly if you are doing it all yourself, you'll just put too much pressure on yourself, and you'll never get it all done, and so you'll never feel like you're winning, really. Keep it simple. Don't try and say too much, because I think, you want messages to be clear. Of course you want everyone to know what you've been doing and how great you are, but no one really has time to read it, I don't think, in this day and age. You want to, I think, if you're doing an ad, you need to see a good picture, a good headline, some clear contact details, and a logo. Yep. Then they'll go to your website where you can go into more detailed information.
Yep.
So that would be my top 3.
Yeah, cool. Good ones. And that last one is one I see people do a lot, is just saying too much. I probably do it a bit on the show, don't I, Michaela?
Different medium. It's okay.
But yeah, trying to say too much and cram all this information into a newsletter or a blog post or whatever, or even a Facebook post. You see these really long social media posts, and I know I skim past them. If the first line doesn't grab me, I won't read it, because it's too long. Yeah,
I do have one more. Don't use crappy images. If the image doesn't represent your business well, don't use it. You're better off having a good headline or something. You don't want to be, editing things out in Photoshop or, again, that's an expense if you don't have the skills yourself. But use good quality images. iPhones are fantastic these days for taking good images, quick little edit in one of the apps that you can download, and you've got a good looking website.
And I think if you do some really big jobs, do pay in getting some professional photography done as well, because you can just use that excuse me, again and again. But it's worth that investment if you've got a particularly great job that you've done. For your marketing materials, I'm like you, I can't stand a cheap image on some really high quality marketing.
Yeah, definitely. It really does. It undervalues yourself. It is, if this is what you're putting in front of new clients and this is what you want them to judge you on, it's the only thing they may have to judge you on, that it needs to be looking good.
Yeah.
Taryn, what's this question came to me just now, so it could be really rubbish, but what's one piece of technology you just cannot do without?
It'd be my phone.
Yeah?
Much to my husband's dismay, probably.
and why is that?
I think because you can just do so many things on it. I multitask, so I can be making sure my clients' social media accounts are up to date while I'm pushing a swing, or those type of things. And I think, you can set your reminders if you use it, being organised, obviously. But I think having your phone on you just allows you to be allows you the chance, I guess, to have your business wherever you are. It doesn't sound, it's not very technical or
no, but it just means you can work anywhere at any time. That's
right.
What I love about it. And when I don't have it all, you do feel like you've cut your arm off. But I also do find that there's times when I turn it off.
Yes.
Just because I actually want to disconnect and not focus on it for whatever reason. So it can be good and bad, but I can't live without my phone either.
Even though recently you banned me from looking at Facebook on my phone.
Yes, I did. We did a challenge.
For a week.
We had to take Facebook off our phones for a week.
That was really difficult, actually.
It was hard, wasn't it? I actually found it a lot harder.
I had to carry my laptop with me everywhere.
That's not the point.
And open it up so I could check it on my laptop.
There's I was reading on a blog post today that there's an app or a program that locks you out of your social media for a certain period of time.
Yeah, right. Like a child lock.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an adult lock for social media.
That's right.
So you can get work done.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've obviously talked about some of the main ways to market a tradie business, but are there some other ways that might still work for certain industries, perhaps. You know, they're sort of the other 80%, because there'll be 20% like social media and email marketing and those things. But what's some of the 80% that people should perhaps still be considering?
Yep, and I think that 80% is the main guts of your marketing, like, you know, that social media and all those type of things really are the pretty end of things. But really simple things like we need new fly screens at home, and I needed to I was like, I was going to get out the local paper, but then I don't know, I was waving goodbye to someone, and I looked at the windows, and the windows we got installed has the company's number on it, you know, Windows by Curtin or whoever, and call them like, oh, and it says for matching fly screens, please call. And I'm like, I will call. So, and everyone can do that on their job. If you've installed a kitchen, little label in the corner. So those type of, so just think about, I guess, what your service or product is that you sell, what leave behind, I guess. And that's something you can, you know, you get 500 magnets done up, they're done. You know, you're not thinking about it. It's just automatic that you give them with an invoice or something like that. I think the finishing touches to jobs is something that every tradie can do and doesn't require, again, a lot of pre-planning or, you know, you just do it. So leaving flowers on a bench for a client at the end of a day once your job is complete, or within reason, obviously going the extra mile. You know, if you're mowing people's lawns, could you possibly maybe one day, you know, trim a hedge or something, you know, just doing that little bit extra every so often. Obviously, if you're not getting value from that, it's a lot of time wasted.
One example I really like to use is a good example of direct mail for a car service mechanic. And now that rego stickers aren't on cars, they actually send a reminder letter every 6 months or 12 months because they've got the rego details on file. And they just say, here's just a friendly reminder that your rego is due, don't forget to pay it. And so it's just another touch point. So if you can think of a way that you can add value, so they're providing a reminder that, you know, that it's due, but also they're saying, hey, we're here, you must be due for your service as well. But it's again that providing helpful, valuable information to your customers.
And like you said, with your seasonal client, you know, if you're pool client, you know, let's have your pool clean for summer type of thing, and having those type of and I guess that then comes back to having your email database or whatever it is up to date, because you just throw it out from there.
And see, in winter you can be talking about, you know, things to do to get ready for summer, or ways to use your pool in winter if it's not heated, or heating things. Like, there's so many things you can do if you think of the seasons and what your customers do. So.
And low cost too. Like, you know, you don't need to take out full page ads in the paper. You know, that's not your market, obviously, but it just doesn't need to be hard if you just, you know, spend one day brainstorming all these ideas and then, you know, figure out what you can do and then going, you know, then just doing it as well. Just doing it.
That's what I love about online. It doesn't really cost, like the yellow pages, you had one go a year to get it right. You had to fork out all this money, and if there was a spelling error in the phone number or something, that was it, your business was under. Now it's just, there's so many opportunities that don't cost a lot of money.
That's right, which is also, I guess, a bit overwhelming too, not knowing where to start. So yeah, just choosing a couple and doing them well.
Is there a way to work that out, Taryn? Like, how do I know where to start with my tradie business of which one do I do first?
Okay, I sound like a bit of an old record. I think I would start by getting your logo well done, because then that will you can put that on your uniform, so that when you go and see a client, you look professional and you look you know, you look good. If you can afford it, get your car wrapped in the same, you know, I love a good car wrap. I think they look fantastic. They, you know, they just create such a striking street presence as your moving billboard. You know, no tradie business can afford a billboard, so you may as well use your car, your trailer, your truck, whatever you've got in front of you. Your logo then sets the tone for your website, and I guess just breaking it down again into the thinking about what you can do online, in person and on paper. So having a good business card. I know they might be on the way out, but it's a leave behind, particularly for tradies when you are meeting people and they may not sign up with you straight away. You need a leave behind, something to, you know, you can leave a physical leave behind like your card or a little marketing flyer. And then if you've got their phone number, you know, you can give them a text within a week, an email in a month, if that, well, maybe that's it for that client. But you've got those, I would start looking at that. And that's to really start it off, and just word of mouth. Just talk to everyone you know. Maybe have some incentives. You know, word of mouth. If you refer me, mate, I'll give you a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the universal currency.
Pretty
isn't it?
much, yeah.
Give you a carton.
Yeah, that's right. Carton is a good job.
So one thing we like to ask all our tradies is if you had 1,000 tradies in a... Sorry, you're not a tradie. All our guests.
Well, technically, she kind of is.
Trading
Well, yeah.
outsider, maybe.
Yeah.
If you had 1,000 tradies in the room, what would be one message that you'd love to give them?
I would like to definitely tell them to just make sure you look the part. So you may be a tradie that is a concreter, but you should all just keep a set of nice clothes in the cart. You know, your only first impressions, I think, count when you're meeting new clients. So just present yourself in the best way possible. I think you've done a series, a podcast on it, but answer the phone nicely. So just those, if you can tick off those boxes for your first impressions, I think you're well on the way of making people more receptive to working with you. So first impressions.
Great advice. Great advice.
And how can, if people want to work with you or find out more and get their help with their marketing, how can they find out more about HiVizCo?
Yep, so they can head to my website, which is HiVizCo, HIVIZCO.com.au. I'm on LinkedIn as Taryn Thomas. I'm on Instagram and Facebook as HiVizCo as well. So
Great.
I'm around.
Nice work. Well, make sure you go and follow Taryn's stuff. I certainly do, and I see you doing some really cool stuff online. And great to have you in the studio today, and thanks for sharing so many of your tips as well. I mean, it's basically this podcasting medium is about content marketing, and so I guess people expect it from businesses like yours that you would share those tips, but that's really a marketing strategy as well, and tradies can do the same thing, is sharing tips with people as a way to show their expertise. So you've done that today, Taryn. Thank you very much, and make sure you go and check her out online.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks. So there you go, Taryn from HiVizCo, talking about how to be high-vis in your business. Actually, it was a bit surprising to me that it was one of her top things, or her top tip was get your logo right. And I was thinking about it while she was running through the reasons why, and it's like, that actually makes a whole lot of sense, because that logo really then dictates the flavour of your branding and the consistency and all that sort of stuff. And you need that right so you can then go and use it on LinkedIn and Facebook and on your email marketing and your vans and everything.
Yeah, and it's not just... one thing a lot of businesses starting out, they don't have a lot of money to invest, and they do scrimp on some things, and logo design and branding is something that a lot of them skimp on. But really, if you invest in that and get it right from the start, it really does just flow into other things, and you're not then, having cheap looking marketing materials, or you're not having to get it rebranded in a couple of years because you were never happy with it from the start. So really, really important, because it does say everything about your business. So do invest in it.
Yep. And the other big thing out of that, which she didn't really talk about in that episode or, in the Thomas Joinery one, was how much business she's actually picked up out of LinkedIn and Instagram. It was mentioned in there.
Yeah.
But I just want to reiterate it.
Yeah, she did say, I think it was off air, she was saying that she started doing some more stuff for Thomas Joinery, just in the social, and they've got about 5 big jobs out of it that they never would have got as a direct result of her Instagram or LinkedIn activity. So,
and one from Instagram was worth like $140,000.
Yeah,
one job.
I think LinkedIn actually.
LinkedIn. Okay.
Sorry, didn't want to correct you,
thanks for making me wrong.
And that was just someone seeing them on there, approaching them, and led to a big shop fit of $140,000.
So there you go.
Works.
LinkedIn for tradies. Go back and check out episode 42, I think it was, with Adam Houlihan. So anyway, today though was Taryn from HiVizCo. Thanks for coming in, Taryn, and I hope you got some great tips out of that. For some other tips on running your tradie business, you could check out our sexy logo at tradiesbusinesstoolkit.com. A lot of thought went into that one. Stop laughing, Michaela. But more thought has gone into the content on that site. My segues are just like, I'm cranking them out today, aren't I? We should do another episode just on segues. Anyway, go check out Tradies Business Toolkit. There is some really cool stuff in there. Private Facebook group is where a lot of people get pretty much their whole $27 a month value. But if you do want to join up, you can check it out for just $1 US for the first 30 days. Go have a sticky beak. And if you hang around, it's $27 US a month after that. We're working on some video training that we'll be making available to our Toolkit members as part of your membership. Everybody else will be paying extra for that. And there's templates, there's bonus interviews, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So go and check it out, tradiesbusinesstoolkit.com, and I'm sure you'll love the logo as well.
Till next time.
Hooray.
You've been listening to the Tradies Business Show with Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark. Want to get off the tools and into true business ownership? Find out how at tradiesbusinessshow.com.